If you're looking for professional day trading education and high-level trade analysis and dissection, you have come to the right place. My name is Pat Mitchell. I've been a professional day trader for the past 11 years, and I'm here to bring you exactly that. Professional day trading education, all here for free on YouTube and on X. And tonight, we're going to be going over a few trades, absolute banger on Qs. So without any further ado, give me 1 sec. I'm going to fire up these charts. I hope you all had a great day. And just as a heads up, as usual, this time in the evening, we do have some heavy rain, so it might get a little glitchy. It might cut out. We'll see. That's kind of the nature of the beast in October in Costa Rica. So let's rock and roll. So today was Monday, and one of the interesting things, if you take a look at these left-hand charts, the blue charts on the screens, on SPY, if we take a look, this trend, we actually opened below this trend. We did gap up, but it didn't gap over resistance, okay? And Qs, we did. So on this trend, we actually gapped up and over. So I like when this happens, when we have a major trend that we're dealing with. What I'm looking for, I'm not looking to go long up here. We're quite extended on the daily without like a proper pullback. I mean, we've had pullbacks. They just haven't been significant. So what I look for instead is actually a failure of that level. Now, I'm not like a lot of these tards out there that short breakdowns, okay? So when we come down, I'm not looking to short that breakdown. If you do that, you're looking to get yourself into trouble. So what you want to do instead is as it breaks, let it come up and bump its head back into that resistance, that former support now proving to be resistance. And you'll have multiple opportunities if you do that. So that was the main trade. The main focus here was that on Qs, and it did that. We got an absolute beautiful opportunity. And now there was some other opportunity on this. It actually, this morning, we did come close. We opened and it was a very quick pop. And that is a small amount of risk. Now, usually what you'll see me do in these situations is on any green candle whatsoever, okay, I will start in and then work the trade. So what happened this morning was it was actually a very quick pop and it just no entry. And one of the issues with doing that, you'll rarely see me do that on a Monday. Now, because I enter via options, I don't consider myself an options trader, so don't let that scare you away, but I do enter via options, and that's the vehicle I trade. But I am watching the stock chart. On Mondays, especially if we gap up or gap down, like it's not a flat open, that premium, so the price of those options, it's going to be off. And it's going to be real expensive. So what's going to happen if you were to enter like that on that first green push, which is generally acceptable trading into protection, into major resistance like that, but you're going to pay for it. And if it does want to keep coming up, it's going to melt down those options. Like it's going to melt down and it'll be a big drawdown, which is fine as long as you're not getting carried away with your starter position. But it can be an issue. So on Mondays, I usually opt for more of a setup. I want it to set up on the charts. Now, when I use the term setup, I'm not talking about fucking double tops, double bottoms, higher lows, that shit. Okay, that's not what I'm fucking talking about. I'm talking about the chart actually giving it time to properly and professionally set up. So that's exactly what I did and we did in this situation. It comes down into this level, shoots back up. There was one entry here, pay myself as it retests, and then the proper and full test of that level. Now, it did come back up into this area, which is a natural level of support, which is fine. It's to be expected. Never freak out just because it wants to break these levels. All right. You have to have a trade plan. And in this trade plan, I was willing to give it all the way up to these highs, which was actually a pretty extended risk, but you have to in these situations. You just size down and then you look for it to properly confirm to get your size in. And that's the way to do it. So on this trade on Qs, worked it all the way down, just got given an absolutely fantastic resolution, almost immediate resolution on it, locking in $8,143 on that. And that's all within the first 10 minutes of the market open. So fantastic trade on that. Now let's go over to the smaller trades. The next trade I took was on SPY. And on this SPY trade, I actually only walked away with $10 because I wanted to give this a little bit of time. So what I did in this situation, let me zoom in a little bit here for you guys. One sec. I know people are fucking impatient. So on this here, on SPY, we had adequate and sufficient distance into that support level. Now, it's not the greatest support level, hence the small size I used, but it still fits strategy. We had it essentially come from pre-market high area, this level, straight down with no bounce into a valid support level. So I'm going to take that. And it actually worked. It just, I held a little bit more looking to see if it would confirm to give a proper test of that level. So that's fine, all good, but executed. Might have lost you, but we'll see here. I'm just going to keep powering through on this. And then on SPY, there was a short. When it fails, pops back up, execute, and then simply just work it. There's just no getting away from it. It's rainy as hell, and I got to use Starlink because I'm way up in the mountains. So if you want to come learn how to trade like a professional trader, come to tricktrades.com. Together. So if you don't care about time, all good. Enjoy the free stuff. If not, for the ones that are serious, I'll see you inside the room tomorrow at tricktrades.com. Adios, folks.